Hi guys, Richard here from Darwin. I'm joined today with Fabian Richter, Director of Engineering from Cape Anaytics. Welcome.
Thanks.
The company Cape Anaytics uses AI and geospatial imagery to provide instant property intelligence, for example, for insurance companies. And actually what they do, they make the insurance process more frictionless and more accurate. Today we talk a little bit more about the effects from the pandemic at Cape, and what has that done with the hiring process and also the remote working. Fabian, thank you again for joining us. And what I would like to know is how is Cape Analytics impacted by the pandemic? Is there anything challenging still now after a couple weeks of 100% home office?
Yeah, for sure. In many regards, I think. So on the one hand, what's really much more challenging is just to uphold effective communication. Right? So you don't have the situation awareness that you usually have when you're in the same room with a person. So if you're forced to use Slack, then you don't get immediate responses. So that may be a challenge. Your answers are trickling in over the course of minutes or hours, even depending on how busy the other person is. You can just walk up to the person's desk and poke him for the information that you want. And then taking away too much context, I think is also, there's a lot of things that happen in between that you have some sense of office awareness. You just passively listen into a conversation that two people have in the office, which obviously, if you take it to a specific dedicated one-on-one conversation on Slack or on Zoom, you don't have that opportunity. So it's now more so than ever important that you give the context that's necessary for other people to understand where you're coming from. So if you decline a meeting, explain why you do that. If you finish a deliverable that other people would just passively absorb that information, go ahead and do tell your team explicitly on Slack, right? So that people do know about that. And make sure that you over-communicate things. So as a manager, you want to explain your thoughts more cautiously, your assumptions, and what you expect people to do, and maybe consider providing both feedback in verbal and in written form. So just to make that more explicit.
All right. So over-communication is one of the things which is important. Do you have other tips how to be engaged or how to make it as clear as possible in remote collaboration?
I think it's super important that you try to step up your game on processes that you have in place. Right. So ideally, I as a manager, if I disappear overnight for 2 weeks and I come back, I would still want to see things making progress even without me. And if that experiment were successful, I would attribute that to good processes that we have in place. So by that, I mean good sprint planning, good quality planning, OKRs for goal setting, so that people have an idea of what the next 3 months are going to be about. So make these things explicit and try to document that more so than before. Just working towards that is, I think, really critical.
All right, clear. And as last, do you have any tips to stay fit and in shape during these times?
I wish I had an answer to that. I mean, I think I have the answer. I'm just not living up to it. I mean, at least in Germany, you're allowed to go out for physical exercise, and now the bar is actually much lower than before because I don't have to commute. But I'm not figuring out how I can go for a run on a daily basis, which I totally should do. So I guess my advice is do exercise, try to stick to your habits, right? Get ready for work, get dressed up, don't sit there in your pajama. So do the natural thing, like stick to a rhythm that you always had. Try to keep things as normal as possible, and then try to stay in good physical shape.
All right, now some good tips for the audience. Have a structure and keep it normal. Thank you so much. For all the people, if you want to know more about Cape Analytics, or you want to know more how Fabian actually comes through these times at home, leave a comment below or contact us directly, and then we get in touch with you and we get you all the info. Fabian, thanks again. for your time.
Thanks a lot.
And yeah, I would say stay safe, and we talk soon.